Welcome everyone to another Wednesday night with your host, Coach Menachem Bernfeld. The fundamentals to gain inner peace. And Baruch Hashem, we're up to class number 41. So the title of tonight, Tisha B'Av and our emotions. And we'll get into it in a minute. For those who want the recordings from the previous classes, it's available at menachembernfeld.com. You have all the most of the classes over there, and any questions you can always send in. coachmenachem@gmail.com. Feedback, whatever comes up, and I want to thank all of you who sent the feedback, so I get to see where we are, where you are, and what are the things that are coming up. So we discussed last week the power of our words. We went through the past few weeks to understand our emotional home, to see where we are if we don't work on it, what we're used to, what our habitual feelings are for many years. And then eventually becoming aware of that has to be in a way of not being hard on yourself, because you probably won't like it if it's negative. And once we become aware of that, to see what our thoughts are, becoming aware of our thoughts, whatever way, whatever technique you're using, whether it's journaling or sitting, finding some quiet time, finding some time to slow down, and to see that it has an effect, our thoughts, the way we feel. And last week we discussed the power of our words, the words we used. We discussed the experiment that they did with water, even though it's not something that we could see, but they did, I guess, they were able to see the difference. They froze the water when they just said positive words. I love you, or just, I'm happy that you're here. And the same thing is with plants. They did the experiment, and somebody mentioned did it with beans. You can try it out. Plant two beans in two different places, or give it the same light, same water. But one of them, they said Tehillim, or they said positive words, and the other one is just either negative or maybe nothing. And so let's see what happens. So if it has an effect, if we see that it has an effect on plants and on water, we could imagine how much it has an effect on ourselves, the people around us, whether it's our kids. And really, where it starts is our thoughts and the words that we use to express ourselves, the way we feel about ourselves, just by using those words. And even though in the beginning you might not believe it, you might say, I'm going to say, I love myself. And you're going to start thinking, is that true? But don't go there. Just use positive words. Thank you. I love it. I'm excited. I'm looking forward. Even though it could be you're not. But by using these words, it has an effect. Versus the other way, I'm a failure. I hate this. Where's this going? You have all these negative thoughts, negative words. So that's very important. And when you pick up that cup of water and you make a bracha, believe that it makes a change. You're drinking healthy water, and it makes a difference in the person. Positive affirmation, that's why sometimes positive affirmation works, just by using those words. Even though in the beginning you might not believe it, just find the positive words and use it over again. So tonight we'll discuss a little bit Tisha B'Av and our emotions. It's interesting to become aware of what comes up. For everybody different. Some people might love the 3 weeks, the 9 days. Tisha B'Av could be something that they enjoy, they look forward. Again, doing this work now for a while, I'm becoming aware that I can't just say it one way, because there's so many people out there and so many different mindsets that you'll be surprised. And there are people who might like it. You might say, what? Doesn't make sense. Okay. But again, I'm who I am. I feel the way I feel. But there are other people out there. Some people don't think about it. They just avoid it. They maybe do what they need to do. Like, okay, so they take a little bit colder shower and can't really listen to music, but they manage. They don't think about it too much, and probably hope that it's after Tisha B'Av already. And then there are those who maybe don't like it, to say the least. Say the least, or they hate it. Why are we doing this? Waiting so long, talking about Mashiach. These emotions can be coming up, and it's very important to become aware. And I think a lot of what we discuss in the past classes is just important to see how the Torah tells us to deal with these things. So that's what we're going to be discussing tonight, which I think is very interesting. So there are two reasons why people don't want to sit with the negative. They don't want to become aware of the negative. And the question is, why would I sit here and teach and help people how to live with and understand, not to understand, to feel the negatives? And that's what we're working on. The question is, why? Why should we slow down? And then what happens when you slow down? You start feeling, period. And you know that. And that's the reason why most people, it's hard for them to slow down. So we don't want to slow down, because that's when we start feeling. And feeling, what comes up? Positives and negatives, I hope. But for many people, more negative. So they rather be busy and running with the habits so that they don't feel. But we know already that we have to feel, and there's two reasons for tonight. Number one, because that's where the positives are. So we know that already in the past. This is the part of the brain that feels, the amygdala. It's either you're in touch, either you're aware, or you're not. So the first reason why you want to stop and feel, because you want to feel positives. There's so many positives in our life. We want to take it in. We want to live it. We want to experience it. We want to thank Hashem for it. But if we don't slow down and experience because of the negatives, it's hard to feel the positives. So that's number one. And another reason why it's very important is because you think by running away, by avoiding and not being aware, everything is fine. I don't have to look at it. I'll just put it under the rug and it'll be fine. But the truth is, it doesn't work that way. It comes up. Eventually it comes up, or it might be controlling your life. There are many things that you're not doing, places that you're not going. We've discussed it in the past because of a past, something that happened, and it made you feel not so good. You don't want to do it again. You don't want to see yourself there again. So you decide, your decisions and your actions during the day are based on those negative beliefs, on those negative emotions, even though you're not stopping and slowing down. So these are two reasons why we're learning how to slow down. So let's imagine, for example, somebody is not feeling well. Let's say they have a chronic disease. Let's say they're always tired, weak, and they don't know what it is. They've gone to the doctors, they take tests, they can't figure it out. They start taking vitamins, and you start doing all different things, and it's just not working, and you just feel very, very tired. So what are the options? So one way, which many of us are used to, try to forget about it. Let's ignore it. Or tell yourself you're fine. We go straight to, it's all in your mind. Just you're fine. Even to go straight to the positive affirmations won't work. But sometimes we want to get rid of. We don't want to become aware of what we're feeling. So others might tell you, just get up, just do, just keep on going. And you might even try it, but at the end of the day, you feel exhausted. After a while, it's just not working. You're trying to push it away because you don't like it. Who likes to feel weak? Who wants to slow down? Who wants to, they won't be able to do everything they can do. Nobody likes it, so they push and they push. But at the end of the day, you're exhausted. What's the other option? The other option is becoming aware and facing it. It's, sitting down, maybe not with yourself, with a friend, or with somebody, a therapist, and you slow down and you look around and you see, this is the way I feel. I don't like it. I don't like the way I feel, but this is the way I feel now. What is it that I can do now? And what can't I do? I might have to slow down and take it easy. I can't continue pushing, but I don't like that. I don't like to face it. I have so much to do. I want to continue. But it's like you're going uphill, pushing a heavy rock, a huge rock, pushing it up the mountain. So you have a heavy, heavy load and you're pushing and you're pushing. You're trying very hard, but it's not working. So what's the other option? To let go, but I want it to be up there. I want to push. So you might want to push as much as possible, but if it's not working, becoming aware is, yes, maybe letting go, and the rock falls down, all the way down, and you're like, oh. You feel bad, you don't like the way it is, but this is the reality. I know you don't like it, but this is how you feel. Becoming aware of how you feel. And the truth is, if you can do that, that's a little bit acceptance. Again, I'm not going to say you accept it all the way, but after you don't like it, after that depression feeling and you don't want to let go, but you have to, you can take a deep breath and you can relax slowly. It might take time. Once you can relax, the truth is, it's interesting, you might find yourself feeling a little bit better. And after a few days, you might be able to do more. So you see the difference. One way is pushing, trying hard, not giving up, which sounds amazing, because I don't want to become aware of what I'm going through, that I can't do what I want to do. So you're trying to deny and keep on pushing, but it's not working. Versus realizing I can't continue this way. I have to slow down. Even though I don't like it, I don't want to experience it. There is some depression in there, some negative feelings, but afterwards we can go to the acceptance and say, wait a second, what could I do? You might have to sleep a little more. You'll do what you could do, and slowly you might find yourself doing things, more things. Again, that can't be your intention, obviously, because that means pushing again. But it's seeing where you are and being okay with who we are. The same thing is when somebody has anything in your life that you don't like, and it's hard to find anybody that they can't tell you that there's something in your life that you just would love to change. We all have those things. And sometimes you see people that are always positive, and you think to yourself, how is it possible? What's going on? How could it be they're always positive? So it's a question. It could be they worked on it. If they did it the right way, you could get there. Emet Hashem, that's the goal. That means they're not denying the things that they don't like in their life. So they're doing it the right way. But then there are others who try very hard when they go out. They put up on their face, nobody should know that there's something in their life that they don't like. And then when they get home, they're exhausted. So again, I'm not saying you should walk around with a sad face all day, but it's just understanding that we all have some things in our life that we don't like. And the tonight example is to be here in the 3 weeks, the 9 days, and Tisha B'Av. This is a place where we are that we just don't like. We don't belong here, and we believe, and it's something that we would love to change, hopefully. So the question is, how do we do this? Talking about Mashiach, for many people, Jews have gone through many things in their, all the years. They've gone through real hardships, and people were thinking, after, this is when Mashiach is coming. And then they were disappointed. When you have hopes and you want and it's not working, and then you feel disappointed. And it could be sometimes, like I mentioned, holding up that rock. We again Tisha B'Av, and again at Tisha B'Av, and again, what's going on? What are we waiting for? We don't even know what to do anymore. What does Hashem want from us? We have all different types of questions. So it takes us to a place where uncomfortable, in a way, we want to give up. Some people want to give up. Those people, they don't want to look at it. Why should I sit and experience these negative feelings? I don't want it. It's not working. I just want to push, keep on pushing, keep on running. And you hope for the best. But we are told the right thing is to stop and feel. Yes, we should stop and feel. And we have this every day. Some people would say tikne chatzos, for those who say every day, a few minutes. Then there are those who daven. In davening, we have a bracha. We daven for Yerushalayim Ircha, we daven for Mashiach. But the question is also, how do we go to that? We daven, okay, Hashem, please. Well, before that, realize where are we? We have that feeling. It might be a down feeling. It might be a negative feeling, something that you don't. It's like we're doing this for so many years, and nothing is happening. You have that feeling of. So you're telling me to slow down and feel it. We don't want to do it. We're still here. And we have many questions. So it's a little bit of a problem. The way we teach it is that we wait every day for Mashiach. We're hoping every day. So we're pushing into the positive, which is amazing. But we're jumping over that negative feeling. We're jumping over that feeling where we don't want to be here, and it doesn't feel good. And that's how we connect. And to take it to the next level, that the truth is that in these, if you can sit down, slow down, you read about it, you think about it, and you don't like it, but you stay there anyways, that's where the hope is. Why? Because imagine after so many years, after thousands of years, we're still talking about it. And that means we're still connected. Isn't that amazing? If you think about it, that is the hope. But I'm not going to the hope right away. I'm not going to Mashiach right away. I'm not going to, to daven. Hashem, please help. It's first before that. What do you feel before that? It's a feeling that many people won't like, that you don't like. You don't want to slow down. You don't want to sit down. You don't want to think about it because it's very uncomfortable. It's something I don't like. But the hope is in that slowing down. Once you do slow down, you see, wow, the Jews are still around talking about it, and that means they're still connected. They're not giving up. But it's after letting yourself slow down. And on Tisha B'Av, we don't say Tachnun. And it says that, it says in the Pasuk, Kara Alai Moyed, that on Tisha B'Av, it's called a Yom Tov. Now, how could you understand that? On Tisha B'Av, the saddest day of the year, call it a Yom Tov and not to say Tachnun? So this is an important piece, and this is what we've been talking about for the past many weeks. It's only if you let yourself slow down and feel, because otherwise you're pushing it away, and then you don't want to think about it, you don't want to experience it. And that's why it says, for those who sit and let themselves experience, if you can be misabel, whichever way it is, again, Many people say, I don't know anything about the Beis Hamikdash. So they might say, talk about your own situation, whichever way you want to do it. Sit down and read about the Beis Hamikdash. And if you think you don't know what's going on, that itself, what does it bring up? I have to do things that make no sense. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm not sure where I am. Doing this for many years. All of these questions and negative feelings, whatever feelings it brings up, just sit there and feel it. Because that is connection. So could you imagine on Tisha B'Av, the saddest day of the year, after Chatzos, we get up, we clean up, we sit down on a chair, and we start tapping into some positives, thinking about Mashiach, born on Tisha B'Av, and finding some hope. After you sat down, you were able to just stay in that negativity. That's exactly where the positives are. So talk about what we discussed. If you let yourself slow down, you let yourself experience whatever comes up, whatever it is, that's exactly where you will find and tap into the positives in your life and learn how to experience whatever it is. Again, experience means experience. And sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't. But you can slowly find things that you do like and feel gratitude, feel thankful for that. And that is ultimately what we are looking for. To be able to live, feel alive and excited and be feeling grateful, despite, even though there are many things in our life, or even one thing, that we don't like. Whatever anybody's going through, whatever they have in their life that they don't like. They're not escaping. They're not denying. We do slow down. We are aware of what comes up. And usually that's that thing that we don't like. We let it come up. We spend a few minutes with it. And then we can tap into positives also. So again, it's important. It doesn't mean that we're going to sit all day with it. We don't sit all year and cry. There are special times. And it's brought down for anxiety. If somebody feels scared about something, they say, for a few minutes a day, you can think about it, but then you have to go on. It's very important to spend a few minutes a day. It's important to realize, what is that thing in my life that I don't like? Write it down. You can have a blacklist. Make a list of the things that you don't like. Become aware of it. You don't want to shove it on the rug. If you become aware of it, you sit for 2 and 3 minutes every day thinking about these things, which is okay. And then you go on. So we don't sit all day, all year crying. It's just a few minutes a day. And then there's a time in our whole year that we have the 3 weeks. This is the time designated to think about it more. And then we get up and continue life, and we go on. That doesn't mean all our questions are answered. We still have the things we don't like. We still have questions. We can still let the negative emotions come up, the things we don't like. It's okay. And even though we have those questions, even though we're still waiting, even though Mashiach hasn't come yet, and where's this going? We're waiting and waiting. That's okay. And then we can connect into the positives. And that's really what we're looking for. And it's amazing. We had this past Sunday night, Rabbi Breitowitz discussing Tzaddik Viraloi. It was an amazing share. And again, did he answer all people's questions? Why? It's not a question of answering. It's not making you feel positive, only positive. There are some negatives, but we can tap into, we can tap into it. We can understand we're here for a reason. We could start making some, not that we understand it. We don't. But even if we don't understand it, and even if we have questions, we can still slow down and we can tap into the positives, because there's always what to thank, always to be thankful for. So this is my thoughts for tonight. And again, I would love to hear your questions in the chat. It's just, for me, it's very interesting to see how we're supposed to tap into the chazon, to tap into what's going on, where we are, into the golas. And it's good to become aware of how you feel. It's okay. Some people might not like the way they feel, but it's okay. And then we can tap into the positives. Thank you very much. Please, if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. And if the question comes up in like 10, 15 minutes, you can always send them to me. coachmenachem@gmail.com. And I hopefully will get to answer them. For the recordings of the previous classes, you can go to menachembernfeld.com. And over there, there's a button, top left, you get all the past classes. I really appreciate all of you that came tonight. And hopefully, we're hoping. It might be hard every day, but I don't see any change. That's right. It's hard. But we continue. We believe and we have hope. With that negative feeling of where is this going? It's so long. Exactly. It's okay. Feel it. And then you can say, I am still connected. I am still thinking about it. And I'm davening. But it's after letting yourself experience those negative emotions. Okay, any questions? You can put them in the chat. The previous shows are available on menachembernfeld.com. The recordings of Sunday night is also available over there. menachembernfeld.com has all the recordings of Sunday night. And the Wednesday nights. For the Wednesday nights, you have to click on the top left, fundamentals to gain inner peace. Okay, we didn't have time to do some positive affirmations or some deep relaxation techniques. Please find some time and do it. Keep it up. And again, thank you for the feedback for those who are telling me it works. Even though I know it works, but when I see other people try it, even though they're not sure how, they're not sure if it works, but you continue. Find some time. You deserve some time, some self-care. Find some time without your phone. Close doors. Nobody should bother you. Just a few minutes and just relax. Take it easy. Yes, you'll become aware of things you don't like. That's okay. Beautiful. Thank you very much for coming tonight, and I'll see you in Mitzvah Hashem next week, hopefully in Yerushalayim, wherever it is. We'll see you in Mitzvah Hashem Wednesday night at 9 o'clock.